Despite my title, we're not here for the wedding of friendly robots, and I won't be sharing online dating advice. The engagement I want to talk about is the focusing of interest and attention on a particular topic. As you might guess, given where I work, the topic I'm passionate about engaging people with is sustainability. It's important to work on changing perceptions about our place in and relationship to the ecosystem, because that's the root cause of our problems. Otherwise, we're like doctors putting Band-Aids on terminally ill patients, treating symptoms without working toward a cure. But convincing people to care about sustainability means making it less abstract and more relatable, while also conveying the magnitude of the issues. Then you need to empower people to feel they can make a difference. As education coordinator for the Sustainable Electronics Initiative, I've found a great poster child for introducing sustainability. From design to disposal, electronics provide lots of examples to bring sustainability home for people of all ages and backgrounds. Through projects like an international student competition, public outreach events, and courses like our Sustainable Technology class for the College of Engineering, I guide people towards sustainability epiphanies along the path of electronics life cycles. The journey begins by realizing that electronics are everywhere, even in mundane, disposable things like greeting cards. These are an example of what Kyle Means calls the law of electronic eventuality. If something can't have a computer in it, it eventually will, regardless of necessity. Unfortunately, electronics are often designed to be sleek, light, and attractive rather than easy to repair or dismantle. Choosing to glue in batteries or use non-standard screw shapes can have ripple effects throughout the product's life. Obtaining materials can also have huge impacts. Conflict minerals used in virtually all electronics can come from mines in the Congo controlled by armed groups that use profits to fuel the deadliest conflict since World War II. Congo has the highest rate of sexual violence in the world. Children often work in the mines or become soldiers. Whatever their source, many materials used in electronics are hazardous and can end up in our bodies or environment through workplace exposures, landfill leaching, or other means if devices aren't properly managed at end of life. While consumers might think about saving energy while using a device, few realize the energy involved in producing it. For example, the components in your child's DS travel a total of 228,000 miles and come from 18 different countries. We might not understand or use all the features on our phones, but we still buy the latest models as status symbols because we think new equals better, or because carriers offer upgrades we feel we should take advantage of. Last year, enough smartphones were shipped for 1/7 of the world's population. Many will be replaced in 2 years or less, at which point they may become e-waste. We only recycle 25% of electronics in the US, and it's estimated an average of 7 kilograms of e-waste is generated per person per year globally. By 2017, the annual global volume may rise by a weight equal to 11 Great Pyramids of Giza. In developing nations, informal recyclers use fire to remove plastic, hammers to open devices, and acid to separate materials, often dumping debris in the nearest river. They poison themselves to earn a living salvaging materials from cast-offs. Students in our Sustainable Technology class are changing their perceptions. One told me about TV characters using prepaid phones and then smashing and throwing them away to avoid call tracing. She never noticed this before, but now she cringes and thinks, no, recycle that. We've talked about Chinese electronics factories and scandals due to unfair labor conditions. One of our students is Chinese, and able to tell his classmates those are common in Chinese factories, not just those that make electronics. Sweatshops are real, and we've all bought something made in them. When I first learned about conflict minerals, I couldn't read or talk about them without crying. A student was also deeply moved, saying he'd never heard of these issues before class. He's a Spanish student in a US class learning how violence in Congo relates to him. In moments like these, the world feels smaller. Sustainability hits home and people understand everything is connected. Everything matters, even individual choices, especially those because we control them. That may be daunting at first, but connection gives you the power to make a difference. You can ask yourself if you really need a new gadget, or if the one you have is fine. You can repair what you have and make it last. If you need to buy something, it can be used, refurbished, or chosen with tools to find greener options. When you're finished with your devices, you can pass them on to someone else or a responsible certified recycler. The success of sustainability programs is often measured in terms of gallons of water saved or pounds of waste avoided. Those numbers are important, but the sweetest successes can only be measured in terms of eyes opened and perceptions changed. Opening eyes is why I love education for sustainability and introducing it through the lens of electronics. So if you're interested in engaging your students or coworkers with sustainability, please do contact me. I'd love to join forces to change the future by changing lives. Thanks for your attention.